You'll never believe what I've learned.
What did you discover in the spellbook we found in the scriptorium?
Salazar Slytherin's spellbook was a little difficult to interpret, but fascinating. Evidently, he encouraged teaching dark magic at Hogwarts. Neither the Imperious Curse nor the Killing Curse was unforgivable during his time. He believed students should be prepared to use dark magic when necessary, not to fear it. That's why we had to use Crucio to gain access to the scriptorium. He didn't want his knowledge shared with anyone who was afraid of the power of dark magic.
I know we had to do it to open the scriptorium, but it's not something I'd want to repeat.
And I'm glad we did it, because in the spellbook I also found something else. References to a lost relic, which, from what I can tell, grants the holder the power to reverse dark magic curses.
And you think this relic might be able to save Anne?
Precisely. I plan to search for this relic, but I don't think we should tell anyone. Especially Ominous. He wouldn't understand.
We need to tell him. He's the reason we found the book, and he deserves to know what you've learned.
You've seen how he frets about the dark arts. I promise I'll tell him when I found the relic. When I know more, I shall send an owl. And don't feel sorry for Ominous. Keeping this to ourselves for now is for his own good.
I'll decide what's for my own good.
Ominous, we were just about to get some air. Care to join?
You're a liar, Sebastian. I heard everything. You swore you'd never engage in anything to do with dark magic again.
No, I didn't. I said I understood you wanting that. I'd never swear to give up on finding a cure for Anne.
You don't know when to stop, do you?
I know when not to stop. Leave this alone, Ominous. I'll be on my way.
I am not letting this go.
Ominous, Sebastian meant well.
I appreciate you telling Sebastian not to keep this from me, but going after that relic is not a good idea. Sebastian doesn't even realize it, but he's as irresponsible and reckless now as his parents were years ago. It's why they died.
I knew his parents died, but I never heard what happened.
Mr. and Mrs. Sallow were professors. Spent nearly every waking moment in the cellar library. Noses buried in books. Anne and Sebastian were upstairs when it happened. They heard a sudden crash and ran downstairs, but it was too late. Their parents had crumpled to the floor. A defect with the lamp in the cellar caused the room to fill with an undetectable toxin. Sebastian and Anne were helpless. They had no magic yet.
What a horrible story.
It is. That's why I can't understand Sebastian's recklessness. I've practically lost Anne. I cannot lose Sebastian too. Please avoid anything to do with that spellbook.
Some references Sebastian mentioned in the book do worry me.
I'm glad you understand. I hope Sebastian pursues this no further. But if you think he might, please let me know. It would mean a lot.
I received your owl. What happened with Ominous?
I told him none of us will be able to avoid dark magic forever. So the more we know about Salazar Slytherin and the dark arts, the better prepared we'll be. Unfortunately, only a Gaunt knows the location of the scriptorium's entrance, and Ominous won't tell me.
Perhaps I should have a chat with Ominous.
You? I suppose it's worth a try. But don't get your hopes up. Ominous is annoyingly stubborn. Nothing new. I know where he is. I'll lead you to him and then leave you to it. Come on. He's this way. Keep an eye out. Never know who's watching, although that hasn't stopped us before.
Strictly speaking, it has. We were caught.
Damned poltergeist. Such a nuisance. There he is. Good luck.
What are you doing here?
Hello, Ominous. Do you have a moment?
What is it? What have you and Sebastian been up to now?
I owe you an apology, Ominous. I wasn't honest with you before about the Undercroft. Sebastian did show it to me. He wanted me to have a safe place to practice some spells to try and catch up to the other 5th years. He didn't think you'd mind.
I suppose that makes sense. It's just Sebastian's been pestering me lately about something and I'm frustrated with him.
Don't tell me he's still going on about, what was it, a scriptorium?
He told you about that.
He did. We were talking about Hogwarts founders and he mentioned it. Wouldn't say much more though.
Yes, well, he seems to think it contains the answer to saving Anne. I think it's likely full of dark magic that is better left untouched.
Wait, you've never been inside?
Of course not. I only know about it because of my favorite aunt, Noctua. She thought like I do. Didn't agree with the family on the use of dark magic. In fact, she'd hoped to convince my family that there was more to Salazar Slytherin than worshipping pureblood status. She'd heard of this scriptorium and thought its contents might shed some light on him. She even found the secret entrance in this very corridor. She wrote regularly to my father about her efforts to gain access, and then she simply vanished. No one else ever tried to enter.
That's a bit unnerving. I suppose even if it might lead to answers about what happened to your aunt, it does pose a risk.
Aunt Noctua went down this path with good intentions and lost her life. I don't want the same to happen again.
You don't know that history will repeat itself. Besides, you said your aunt thought like you. This could honor her memory, get you answers about Slytherin and Sebastian answers for Anne. Your aunt pursued this alone. We could do it together.
I see what you've done here, and I confess, you've convinced me. I didn't think it possible. Very well. I shall tell you what I know. Fetch Sebastian, I'll wait. I hope I
Revelio.
don't regret this.
Sebastian, over here.
These braziers grant access to the scriptorium.
Now you'll share? You wouldn't tell me when I practically begged.
It wasn't you who told me what I needed to hear. Opening the entrance has something to do with threes.
Well, 3 heads are better than 1.
Its 2 heads are better than 1.
And by that logic, 3 is better than 2. Simple mathematics, Ominous.
Revelio.
Remember, 3 braziers are involved.
Someone was actually listening.
I do that. Occasionally.
Confringo!
That brazier went out on its own. I wonder if it's a clue. Something's happening.
I hope we're ready for this.
Dark, ominous corridors.
Lumos.
My favorite.
No comment.
Come on, that was a good one. Looks like a locked door.
We may want a journal entry. Signed by Noctua Gaunt.
The rubble formed a relief of a
Lumos.
person facing a snake.
That must be the voice I hear. The voice is ancient, sinister.
You hear a voice.
It started when you repaired that relief. I hear a whisper saying, "Speak to me." I'm a parcel mouth. I can hear and speak to snakes. Nearly all known parcel mouths are descended from Salazar Slytherin.
I'd like to be able to talk to snakes.
You might not want the ability to speak parcel tongue. It's often associated with dark wizards. I haven't spoken it in ages, but I'd wager if I speak it now, the door will open. I'm hoping you're having second thoughts.
I see no reason we should stop now.
It's ironic. When I left home, I vowed to leave the dark arts behind, and yet here I am. Stand back. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Lumos. It worked! Ominous. You possess a rare ability indeed.
Between the two of you, I'm starting to feel left out.
Between the two of us?
Never mind. There's no clear way forward.
Like a maze. Salazar Slytherin most likely wanted this to be difficult to solve.
The door we came from, it closed, and there's more than one gate ahead.
Then look closely at each gate for clues.
The dial requires focus.
Aunt Noctua said the same. It may take practice to solve it. That didn't sound good.
Salazar Slytherin didn't
Couldn't bring
it easy.
This journal entry, it mentions getting lost and being unwelcome.
Poor Aunt Noctua.
Looking rather dire, isn't it?
You sound surprised. We're in a maze designed by Salazar Slytherin.
All the gates have symbols, and there are symbols on the dial.
Lumos!
Perhaps the symbols on another gate will match this dial.
Matching the symbols did open it.
Was about to do that myself.
Lumos.
You got to it first. Nice work. We've got more to solve ahead.
Search each corridor. It may not be obvious which leads where.
Another gate.
Seems Slytherin like to play games.
Must run in the family.
Look in a mirror, Sebastian. That sounded promising.
Another dial solved.
Impressive. Nice work.
Lumos.
Another, not the welcoming sort, was he? Excellent work. We're another step closer to the script.
Ominous. Your aunt wanted to change your family's traditions.
She did. And she was my favorite person in the world for it.
I spotted
Lumos.
something ahead. Looks troubling.
This whole place is troubling, but for my aunt's sake, we cannot stop now.
The gate! I think we're locked in. Again.
Then Salazar Slytherin is not yet finished with us.
Ominous. A skeleton. And Noctua's last journal entry. She mentions being trapped here, blocked by an unforgivable curse.
This is where she died. This is where we'll die. I shouldn't have listened to either of you.
Ominous, I'm truly sorry about your aunt. But I know what to do. It's going to be difficult.
You said you know what to do.
Tortured faces on the door, and Crucios etched into the stone. My guess is if we cast the Cruciatus curse, the door will open. That's why Noctua died. She had no one to cast the curse on. Ominous has the most experience with this. He should cast it. You seem to be in Ominous's favor. Will you ask him about this?
You know him better than I do.
Very well. Wish me luck. Wish we had some liquid luck. Ominous, I know this is the last thing you want to do.
Yes, it is. I thought you knew me better.
But this is different. Whoever you cast it upon would have agreed to it first. It wouldn't be an innocent victim. We have to open the door.
The spell won't work unless you mean it. That's true of all unforgivables. If it must be done, then one of you must cast it.
What do we do now? Ominous is not going to cast the Cruciatus curse again.
Ridiculous. As if dying in here is a better option than casting a damned spell. It's up to us. I can teach you Crucio, or I can cast it on you.
Wait, you didn't say you knew how to cast Crucio?
Because I'm not sure I do. Ominous knows that, yet he's left us no choice. I don't yearn to follow in Noctua Gaunt's footsteps. I think I can cast it if I have to.
I want to learn the curse, but I won't cast it on you. You need to cast it on me.
I shan't forget this.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Crucio! Are you all right?
Are you all right?
That pain, it was excruciating. But I'll survive. Let's keep moving.
We made it. We found Salazar Slytherin's scriptorium.
I can't believe we're here.
Sebastian, Ominous. There's a book just here.
You found something.
You two go ahead. Let me know what's in it. I'll wander around a bit.
May I have a look?
Revelio.
What do you think?
Looks like a spellbook of some kind. This is incredible. A Hogwarts founder's possession. What an honor. Still can't believe Ominous never told me about his aunt and what she found.
What will you do with Slytherin's spellbook?
What I do with every book. Read it. Having professors as parents ingrained that habit early on. But I can do that later. For now, I say we explore this room. It's breathtaking.
I've been getting an uneasy feeling about this place. We shouldn't linger here. Let's find a way out, please.
I don't want to leave, but I owe you.
Revelio.
Without both of you, we'd never have made it this far.
We were lucky. We could have died. We must swear never to do this again.
I see a way out.
Best news I've heard all day.
About your aunt.
Please, Sebastian. I meant what I said before. We swear, right now, never to engage in anything to do with dark magic again.
Understood. I'm truly sorry about your aunt, Ominous.
I suppose after all this, I am grateful to know what happened to her. Thank you.
Excellent work today.
Revelio.
Class dismissed. I take it you're ready to learn your new spell.
I completed your assignment, Professor. I'm ready to learn Bombarda now.
Good. Now, this spell comes with a caveat. It should only be used when necessary. The exploding charm, as you might suspect, can hurt people. Use caution when casting it.
I will, Professor.
I will hold you to that promise. Now, you must be precise in your wand movements. We don't want you blowing your hand off. Go ahead. Nice and steady wand movements. Remember, the exploding charm is highly volatile. Well done. Now, let's put it into practice, shall we? Go ahead and try it on the pumpkins.
Bombarda.
Excellent wand work. Cast the spell just like that every time. Assured and in control.
Professor, might I have a moment?
Yes. What is it?
I was wondering what inspired your interest in magical beasts.
Are you considering some sort of profession in the field?
I haven't decided quite yet, but I do find magical beasts fascinating.
You do seem to engage well with the beasts in class. I believe that when choosing a path, particularly of a scholarly nature, one must take into account both one's enthusiasm for a particular subject, as well as how one may best serve the students to whom one is obligated to both inspire and teach.
Of course, Professor. When did your path become clear?
I recall it quite vividly. It was the summer between my 6th and 7th years. I read in the Prophet about a wizard who'd been selling alchemy eggs and disappeared in the mountains near my home. I knew of the alchemy, of course, from my studies, but they are native to lands east of here, such as India. I wondered if it was possible that an alchemy could be so nearby. Hence, I went to find it.
Seems quite a challenge finding an alchemy in the mountains.
It was. After a few days, during which my parents grew increasingly annoyed at my absence, I found what little remained of the wizard egg trader. He was near a tree hollow. And there, inside, was a nest with 7 silver alchemy eggs.
What did you do with them?
Nothing. Beasts are to be valued for what they can provide for wizard kind. Protective clothing, potion ingredients, even wand cores. Only poachers see the value in ending a beast's life for galleons. I left the eggs alone. I hid. And moments later, the beast flew right over my head. Breathtaking. She then seemed to all but disappear as she shrunk to fit into the hollow.
That sounds incredible.
Indeed. I knew in that moment that I needed to understand all that I could about beasts and ensure that wizard kind learned to benefit properly from them. Now, I trust that I have answered your question. You would do well to continue your study of beasts, regardless of your chosen path. Beasts and all that they provide will vastly improve your life, and perhaps one day even save it.
I shall remember that, Professor. Thank you.
Bombard!